We got Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde going up against the Usos. This might lead to something bigger. Depends on how this match goes. But either way, tag team month on the channel is continuing with Joaquin and Legado Del Fantasma against the Usos. Big super kick off the rip from Joaquin Wilde. And a 2 count takes down Jey Uso. What a coup that would have been for Legado del Fantasma if they would have been able to dethrone the Usos pretty much right out of the gate. Quickness is the order of the day for Legado del Fantasma against the Usos. And, quickness is not something that is a foreign concept to the Usos either, as Jey shows a little bit of quickness. Joaquin, twisting swinging neck breaker. He's going back up top, attacking the arm. Arm drag again by Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin tags out to Cruz del Toro. Dropkick takes down Cruz del Toro from Jey Uso. Headbutt by Jey. And now Jimmy's the legal man. Jimmy's taking it to Cruz del Toro. Cruz is now fighting back. Jumping Enziguri takes down Jimmy Uso. Release German suplex. Cruz is waiting for Jimmy. Ducks him. Roll up. 2. And a 2 count takes down Jimmy. Running lariat by Jimmy takes down Cruz del Toro. Cruz brings himself to the corner and avoids the basement dropkick by Jimmy Uso. Big DDT by Cruz del Toro. And a quick kick out by Jimmy Uso. Cruz. It looks like a springboard enziguri by Cruz del Toro takes down Jimmy Uso. Snapmare. Big kick. And Cruz tags out to Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin Wilde is now in the ring. Float over DDT by Jimmy Uso takes down Joaquin Wilde. Jimmy's bringing Joaquin. I think he tried to drag him a little too far and Joaquin Wilde gets out of it. I think Joaquin Wilde was looking for Jimmy, but ended up hitting Jey. Ducks the lariat, takes down Jey with a clothesline. Joaquin gets a ladder press and a quick kick out by Jimmy. Now both the Usos are on the outside, and Joaquin Wilde is in the ring. Tope con Hilo by Joaquin Wilde takes out Jimmy Uso. And before Jey can get down off the apron to go after him, Joaquin Wilde gets himself back in the ring. Spectacular maneuver there by Joaquin Wilde, though. Cruz del Toro's back in the ring. T-bone suplex by Cruz del Toro. Cruz stands in the way of Jimmy. Taking out to Jey. Cruz brings himself to the apron, and now he's on the apron with both. I don't know why Jey's going after Cruz. I don't know why Jey went after Joaquin Wilde. Cruz del Toro's the legal man. Cruz just gets dropped throat first across the top rope. Cruz gets dropped throat first across the top rope. Cruz blocks Jey. Springboard and springboard kick. Snapmare takeover. Snap suplex, not a snapmare takeover. Cruz took too long to get positioned on the top rope, or we thought he did. Hurricane Rana, a top rope Hurricane Rana by Cruz del Toro. A key crusher by Cruz takes down Jey Uso. Key crusher by Cruz takes down Jey Uso. And Jey kicks out. Jey kicks out at the count of 2. Jey springs back up to his feet. Jey's not too far from the corner. But for whatever reason, Jey is not able to bring Cruz del Toro into the corner. Cruz sends Jey into the ropes, and Jey blocks the clothesline from Cruz del Toro. Cruz blocks Jey. Enziguri. Jey again gets in the way of... Cruz gets in the way of Jey. Kicks to the hamstring of Jey from Jey by Cruz del Toro. Reverse that. Jey sends Cruz into the corner. Jey gets blocked again. Running Hurricane Rana. Twisting corkscrew on the outside by Cruz del Toro. Jey Uso can't get away from Cruz del Toro. Cruz shoots the half. But Jimmy gets in and breaks it up at the count of 1. We've seen DIY and the Usos tear the house down, and we saw the Creed brothers and the Street Profits bring it up a little bit, set the bar a little bit higher. But now the question is, how are the Usos and Legado Del Fantasma gonna play the coin? How's the coin gonna flip with these two? And a big Samoan drop-off rip by Jimmy Uso takes down Joaquin Wilde, but Cruz del Toro gets back in the ring and breaks it up instantaneously. Joaquin blocks him, drops him with a super kick. Jimmy blocks Joaquin Wilde. And again, the Usos turn their attention to the illegal man. Had he not done that, that would have allowed him to capitalize on whatever move he did to Joaquin, on the jawbreaker that he did to Joaquin Wilde, but he took his eye off the ball for a second. If the Usos keep doing that, then it's going to come back to bite him in this matchup, I guarantee it. Simple but effective from Joaquin Wilde to Jimmy Uso. He does it, he did it once, it worked. Do it again. Simple but effective by Joaquin. Double axe handle off the top rope. It's almost like he anticipated Jimmy getting back up. The whirly bird. Round and round he goes. Where he stops, only Joaquin Wilde knows. Big double boots to the face. You gotta figure Jey Uso's getting in the ring. No! Jey did get in the ring, but Jimmy was able to kick out. And then Jey caught Joaquin with a basement dropkick right after he kicked out. Right after the letter of press, Jimmy's brother saved him. And Jey got a basement dropkick. I guess you could say Jey got the cheap shot in on Joaquin. But now Cruz del Toro's back in the match. Cruz still got his attention on Jimmy. And Jey took advantage of that. Both men got in the ring, but Cruz del Toro was able to kick out. Cruz is now fighting back. Dropkick takes down Jey. $450 splash. 450 splash. Ladder of press, but Jey is saved by his brother. Jimmy doesn't even give him an opportunity to get a ladder of press. Breaking it up before the cover even starts. Or before the count even starts. Finally, the Usos are able to do the double team move. The last 2 times they've done it, it was too far and they end up losing the person that they're dragging to the corner. Running forearm smash by Jimmy. Cruz is now trying to crawl away. Uso splash. The Uso splash. But Cruz del Toro saved by Joaquin Wilde. Cruz del Toro saved by Joaquin Wilde. And now Cruz is falling victim to the Usos as Jay is now the legal man. Jay plants him with a Samoan drop. Jay plants him with a Samoan drop. Doesn't even give him a second to recover. But Joaquin Wilde, you gotta figure that Joaquin Wilde, encouraging his tag team partner, gave Cruz del Toro the opportunity to get a little bit of to block that offense for a second from the Usos. But it was to no avail, as now Cruz is being dragged to the corner and double teamed again by the Usos. Double super kick takes down Cruz del Toro as Cruz is now rolling to the outside. And again, the Usos are going after the illegal man. Wait a second, what the hell is Jimmy doing? Jimmy's measuring Cruz del Toro. Twisting moonsault by Jimmy takes down Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro desperately needs a tag. He saw an opening. Did Cruz del Toro. Got himself back in the ring. I would say he needs a tag, but Joaquin Wilde's on the outside. I don't know why Jimmy's got a fascination with Joaquin Wilde. European uppercut takes down Joaquin. Cruz went for a dropkick. Jimmy tags out to Jay. Twisting DDT. 1, 2, no. Jimmy gets in the ring and breaks up the count. Final cut by Cruz del Toro. Jay rolls to the outside. Super kick. Cruz del Toro has got to tag out because he just tried for a springboard. But Jay caught him with a super kick coming down from the springboard. Nothing is going the way of Cruz del Toro in this one. He needs to tag out. Before the count even starts, Joaquin Wilde gets the cover broken up. Cruz is on the outside. Joaquin Wilde is now on the inside. As Jey Uso looked, I thought Jay was going to try for Joaquin Wilde, but he takes the opportunity to tag out to his brother. Stunned and confused is Joaquin Wilde. Jay took advantage of it, strikes Cruz del Toro, but Cruz del Toro doesn't let it distract him. Cruz should have tagged out 5 minutes ago. Cruz is fighting back. Drops Jimmy Uso. And Cruz finally tags out to Joaquin Wilde. Cruz del Toro finally tags out to Joaquin Wilde. And a unique bit of offense there by Joaquin Wilde to take him down with a code breaker. Ladder press and a kick out. You gotta let Cruz del Toro get himself back in the matchup. Code red, but a kick out. But Jay broke it up for his brother. And Joaquin again blocks Jimmy. Well, actually, he blocked both of them because he was standing between Jimmy and Jay. So technically, he blocked both of them. Again! Legado Del Fantasma goes high risk, but again the Usos see it coming and block it. Jimmy gets introduced to the barricade, not once but twice. And Joaquin now sends him back into the ring. Stays on him to prevent the hot tag. Facebuster by Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin's now going up top. Joaquin Wilde. 450 splash. 450 splash by Joaquin Wilde. But Jimmy is saved by his brother again as Jay breaks up the cover before the count of 1. Cruz del Toro's now going up top. Jimmy is still down. Frog splash. But Jimmy moves out of the way. Again, Cruz del Toro goes for the high ramp district, and Cruz del Toro falls flat. Jay's in the ring now. Running quarter clothesline. Takes down takes down Cruz del Toro. Fireman carry takeover takes down Jay. Reversal takes down Cruz del Toro. This is just a seesaw battle between these two men. Jumping in Sagiri. Hammer throw into the corner takes down Jay. Hammer throw into the corner takes down Jay. Jay reverses. Cruz del Toro. I mean, if I was Legado Del Fantasma, I would have let Joaquin stay in the ring a little longer. Cruz gets back up. Beals. Jay off the top rope. Beals Jay off the top rope. Running Inseguri by Cruz del Toro takes down Jey Uso. But Jimmy again gets in the ring and breaks it up instantaneously. Jay takes the opportunity to roll the outside. Jay takes the opportunity to roll the outside. Corkscrew Plancha finally takes out Jay as again Cruz del Toro goes to the outside, but this time it pays off. Jay gets introduced to the barricade. Sabo suplex by Cruz del Toro as this match has broken down. Both members of Legado del Fantasma and the Usos are on the outside. Everybody's on the outside. Jay's getting introduced to the barricade multiple times. We are at a count of 7. Cruz del Toro finally gets in the ring. I mean, if I was Cruz del Toro, I would not be looking for a count out. And it looks like Cruz is going to the outside to try and get Jey Uso back into the ring. Not looking for a count out is Cruz del Toro and Legado del Fantasma. Jay takes out Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin Wilde gets back into it. If I was Joaquin Wilde, I'd do the honorable thing and send him back into the ring. He goes for a jawbreaker instead. You could tell Cruz del Toro's showing the effects of the matchup. Again, a jawbreaker. Again, if I was Cruz del Toro, I would try and get my guy back into the ring. But it seems like Jey Uso is focused on Joaquin Wilde, but now he's not focused on Joaquin Wilde. He's focused on getting back into the ring. Crucifix. But Cruz del Toro disorients his opponent. But again, Jimmy gets back into the ring. Jimmy lands a cheap shot on Cruz del Toro. But I guess it's not a cheap shot if Cruz del Toro was going to go for a cheap shot on him. Cruz, again, putting up a valiant effort. Joaquin is back up. Joaquin Wilde is back up. But now Jay rolls back to the outside. Joaquin Wilde desperately wants to tag. You could tell because he didn't even try and fight Jimmy Uso. He wanted to get back in this matchup and help his tag team. He wanted to get back in this match and help his team. Reversal by Jay. Jay's finally showing some life here. Jay's dragging Joaquin to the corner. They got him set up. Samoan drop. Now Joaquin is rolling to the outside, but Usos go for the dive. Jimmy goes for the dive, scaling over the top rope. Swinging neckbreaker by Jimmy Uso takes out Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin finds his way up back to the top, and Joaquin DDTs Jimmy Uso, reversing him. Gets the reversal in so these two men can get back into the ring. Roll up by Joaquin Wilde, and Jimmy kicks out. Dropkick brushed off. Big clothesline takes down Joaquin Wilde. Jimmy Uso is on the offensive. Neither one of these teams have been able to land a hot tag yet, but that doesn't mean they won't, as a jawbreaker takes down Joaquin Wilde. Nip up. Jimmy scales over Joaquin Wilde, and Joaquin misses Jimmy. Big dropkick by Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin second guesses himself going to the top rope. But he goes to the top rope now with Jimmy's arm. Arm drag takeover. Again, Joaquin prevents the hot tag from the Usos. Snap suplex. Jimmy springs back up. Immediately shows a bit of offense and a bit of life. Headbutt takes down Joaquin Wilde. Let her press. And a kick out. Joaquin easily kicks out, which is surprising at this point in the matchup. Jay is now the legal man. Jimmy, I don't know why Jimmy went for the cheap shot there, as now Joaquin Wilde is taking it to Jey Uso. It was a small package. Small package, slight hesitation from the referee allows Joaquin Wilde to get an easy kick out. But now Joaquin Wilde is having himself brought to the woodshed by the Usos. Dropkick takes down Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin sees it coming whatever Jimmy had planned. Joaquin Wilde saw it coming. Facebuster. Facebuster takedown. Joaquin double kicks to the mush. Jay doesn't even hesitate. Jay gets in the ring before the count even starts. This match may never end. Running elbow strike by Joaquin Wilde. Basement dropkick takes down Jimmy. Again, blocking the hot tag. Joaquin's going for a suplex. Jimmy reversed him. Drops him with the bulldog. Jimmy drops him with the bulldog. And the Legado Del Fantasma get the hot tag off. Both men go for moves, but neither one of them connect. Actually, I think Jimmy may have connected, but Jimmy takes advantage of disorientation for Joaquin Wilde and sends Joaquin to the outside, and now Cruz del Toro's by himself. Cruz del Toro is by himself. Hip toss neckbreaker by Jimmy Uso. Cruz suppresses Jimmy Uso. Cruz suppresses Jimmy Uso and gets a 2 count before Jay can break up the count. Basement dropkick. Super kick. Reversal. Hot tag. The Usos got the hot tag. The Usos got the hot tag. The Usos got the hot tag. Jay brings Cruz del Toro to the ropes. Forearm shivers to the small of the back. Cruz is pulling himself up on the ropes. And Bills Jay off the top rope. Cruz goes to the top rope. He's measuring Jay. Walking the ropes. Drop kick. Walking the ropes and a drop kick by Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro running enziguri by Cruz del Toro takes down Jay. And Cruz gets a 2 count, and Cruz del Toro thought that that was the best opportunity he could have had in this matchup, and it didn't come to pass as Jay somehow kicks out. That's the first time the Usos landed that move, that theatrical right hand. As Cruz del Toro's out, Joaquin Wilde's back in, and Jay is out, and Jimmy's back in. We've seen this a few times from Joaquin Wilde. It looks pretty every time. The fluidity of the move from Joaquin Wilde. Nothing better than that. 450 splash by Joaquin Wilde. 450 splash by Joaquin Wilde, but Jimmy kicks out. But Jimmy breaks it up. Jay breaks it up. Jimmy kicked out. Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker takes down Jimmy. Jimmy gets taken down with a clothesline. Jimmy gets taken down with a clothesline. Joaquin is now up top. Second guesses himself, and it ends up coming back to bite Jimmy for a second before Jimmy takes advantage of it. And Jimmy gets back on in control. This has been nothing but a seesaw battle between the Usos and Legado Del Fantasma. Playing possum is Joaquin Wilde against Jay. Jay was playing possum too. Jay catches him with a small package. But again, the referee doesn't like the fact that the illegal man comes into the ring. And that ends up costing the Usos. It feels like the referee might be against the Usos in this one. I don't know, but that's just me. As again, Jay took the opportunity when Joaquin rolled to the outside to go after the... I've never seen a reversal like that. But he took the opportunity to land a cheap shot on Cruz del Toro instead of going and following up on Joaquin Wilde. Missed the Uso splash. He missed the Uso splash. But Joaquin, second time around, landed the Codebreaker. Lateral press. And again, Jimmy kicks out for his brother. Jimmy breaks it up. Joaquin lands it again. Cruz del Toro's on the outside. Joaquin Wilde is by himself. The Wild thing has been a sight to see in this one from Joaquin Wilde. Jay sidesteps him. Again, reversing the spinebuster is Joaquin Wilde and a hot tag, but Joaquin Wilde is ready for it. Codebreaker to Jimmy. Codebreaker to Jimmy. Goes right up top. Does Joaquin Wilde. Can Joaquin land it? No. Jimmy's back up. Crossbody. Lateral press. 2. And no. Jay kicks out. Jay breaks it up for his brother. Back to the Codebreaker. It's just a pretty move. What can I say? It's just a pretty move. What can I say? But Joaquin Wilde, you gotta figure that the match is showing the effects, as we have almost been going for 30 minutes in this tag team matchup. The Usos and the Legado del Fantasma have been almost going for 30 minutes, as he went for the facebuster, did Joaquin Wilde, but Jimmy saw it coming and countered it. Jimmy brings Joaquin all the way to the opposite side of the ring. What are the Usos anticipating here? It looks like... I forget what their name... I know that's their tag team finish. And somehow, Joaquin Wilde kicked out. Somehow, at this point of the match, Joaquin Wilde kicked out. They nailed their tag team finisher. And Joaquin Wilde moved out of the way of the Uso splash. I feel like now's the time to say, in a sight you'd only see in a WWE video game, Joaquin Wilde is showing life 30 minutes in. But Legado del Fantasma Legado Del Fantasma land their tag team finisher. But the Usos break it up. Jimmy breaks it up for his brother. This might be the best opportunity for the Usos. For the Legado del Fantasma. And they finally get the victory. 30 minutes in, does Legado del Fantasma. What a matchup between Legado del Fantasma and the Usos. This has been a night of incredible tag team action. The month of November has featured a lot of incredible tag team action. And this just adds another to the list. With that being said, though, that is it for me. And I will see you in the next one.